When we first sat down with Dr. Megan Levine in November 2022, she had no idea how to track down a former friend and medical colleague who had borrowed $160,000 from her. Levine met Monica Kehar 4 years earlier. Both had completed med school and were doing their residency in family medicine. Levine in Thunder Bay and Kehar in Winnipeg. They met at the College of Family Physicians of Canada meetings, a national organization they had each been elected to represent their respective schools.
She was very genuine. She would approach you, talk to you, very personable.
They appeared to have a lot in common and became friends. Kehar later told Levine that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer and was struggling financially. By then, she had moved to Alberta to do her residency there, but needed help to pay her bills.
She was in absolute tears, beside herself, that she was being kicked out of her apartment. She had no place to go. She was wandering around the streets of Calgary with her suitcase, and that she needed some help for the day just to find a place to stay. So that was where it started. Things outstanding.
Within 8 months, Levine had lent Kehar $160,000, money her friend promised to pay back, but so far hasn't.
Kehar was expelled from residency and censured by the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Manitoba, the regulatory body. An investigation found she altered emails and documents and submitted them to the University of Manitoba.
It also concluded that Kehar fabricated evidence of a non-existent serious medical condition in order to get 2 colleagues to lend her a substantial amount of money.
I'm not going to lie, at the start I felt absolutely humiliated. Because you think to yourself, how could I be so stupid as to be led on like this? And for me, there was nothing more than simple friendship. So I thought, man, my judge of character is totally off.
The censure said Kehar was demonstrating a pattern of attempting to mislead the college and others and deflect from her personal responsibility for her unethical and inappropriate actions, and that she had shown an unfitness to practice medicine. She was expelled from the program and is not allowed to work as a doctor in Canada. But CBC News discovered that doesn't prevent her from calling herself one. Kehar moved to British Columbia and in 2021 started Prestige Body Labs, which has since closed. The business provided electrical muscle stimulation, also known as EMS, which was advertised as a service that could help clients lose inches off their frame. Prestige's social media said it was a doctor-run facility, even though you don't have to be a physician to provide the service.
It turns out the colleges of physicians and surgeons in Canada allow anyone with a medical degree to call themselves a doctor or say they have an MD, even if they didn't finish residency and can't practice.
University of Alberta professor Timothy Caulfield has serious concerns about that.
I think when people see the word doctor, they assume, especially when it's someone with an MD, they assume they're entitled to practice, that they have an expertise, and that they are perhaps appropriately regulated. And if that's not the case, it's incredibly deceptive and can be exploitive.
He says there have been cases where doctors who were stripped of their medical license end up selling unproven supplements or give free advice on a host of things, which could be dangerous to the public.
There's so much health misinformation out there. There's so many fraudsters out there. And I think the public needs some clarity. When someone uses the title doctor, I would like it to mean something.
He wants regulators to change their laws to make sure only licensed doctors can call themselves that, or at the very least, people who are not licensed would have to declare that publicly. As for Megan Levine, she won a lawsuit against Kehar in Ontario and is currently suing her in BC in hopes she'll get her money back, but she isn't banking on it. Kehar refused to provide information or do an interview for the story. Caroline Bargout, CBC News, Winnipeg.